What up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we're talking about 1991's Point Break, starring the late, great, legendary Patrick Swayze as Bodhisattva. You know, they call him the Bodhisattva, but most of the time they just call him Bodhi. But this movie is incredible. You know, I'm going to be talking brief spoilers, other spoilers, you know, just talking about the movie in general. So if you don't want to be spoiled, get out of here, go watch it for yourself. But this movie is over 20, maybe over 30 years old at this point. But it is very, very good. It starts out, you know, there's a bank robbery, there's these group of 4 guys. They're all wearing ex-president masks, and they call themselves the ex-presidents, and they're busting off banks, and they're getting away with it, and they're like ghosts. Nobody knows who these guys are, but the police are trying to hunt them down. And then we find out that Patrick Swayze is one of the main characters. But I love how it like starts out with the robbery, and he's like, "Okay, it's time to rock and roll." And like there's certain shots that are just so like momentum. And I believe this is Catherine Bigelow, a female director for an early 90s movie. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, she fucking killed it. But the 2 detectives that we're following, chasing down these bank robbing ex-presidents, are Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah. I love Busey's character. He has some quotable lines in this that make me laugh so hard. But Keanu, just young Keanu's surfing, handsome as hell, and he plays a great Johnny Utah, former football player turned cop, lying to the bad guys, telling them that he's a lawyer, but they still know him as the football guy because he got nuked in the 4th quarter of Ohio State Buckeyes, you know, something like that. But I'm obsessed with Tyler, right? So Johnny goes to the bar where she's working at, and he is there for the job, but he also then, you know, falls in love a little bit. And if you guys know me, I'm a sucker for a good love story. So the relationship between Johnny and Tyler, I'm super, super in love with, and Tyler is just so fucking gorgeous. She's one of those girls that, like, probably a lot of people in the 90s was like, short hair, black hair. Nah, she's a hoe. She's slutty. I don't like her at all. All my vibe. I like this chick a lot. The blue eyes, the dark hair, short hair, her little goofy laugh. She's a surfer, you know, she's active. I'm into it, right? She can teach me how to surf any day of the fucking week. But of course, Johnny's trying to surf, and he's got this terrible board, and he accidentally bumps into another guy, gets punched in the face. This guy brings his crew, and this crew of badass dudes. One's named Warchild, the other ones have goofy names too. But they all start to try and beat up Johnny. He gets a couple good punches in, but Patrick Swayze's character comes in, and he's like, "Back off, Warchild, he's with me. Seriously, man, he's with me. Leave him alone." And then they fight him off, the 2 versus 4, and kick their ass. They run away. Bodhi invites Johnny. He's like, "Man, you really like to stir up a lot of shit, don't you?" He's like, "Hey, why don't you come by my house tonight? We're having a party. It's going to be fun." And he's like, "Where is it?" He goes, "Bring Tyler." She knows where. Tyler and Bodhi used to have a thing together, but Bodhi's like, "Hey, I don't care. I have feelings for her, but she's a good girl. She can go and love Johnny if she wants to. I'm all about the waves and robbing banks anyways." But at this moment in time, we don't know that Patrick Swayze's character and his group are the bank robbers. We can have suspicions, but we don't know for sure yet. But, of course, Johnny and Bodhi, Patrick Swayze and Keanu are out surfing for real, and some of the real shots of them surfing are really cool, and it's really fun shots to see. But some of my favorite shit is Gary Busey's line, "Utah, give me 2." You know, he's like, "Hey, why don't you go over there and get me one of those meatball subs? Ooh, that sounds good." And then he's like walking away, and he goes, "Utah, give me 2." You know, like, I don't know why I love that so much, but it's just an iconic line. But the most iconic scenes in this have to be the skydiving ship. And I know some of these aren't real, but, you know, I know for sure that there was a big like, problem with this movie, that they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do it for fake," and Patrick Swayze and the boys took cameras and crew out on like the weekend and went really skydiving and brought them back footage of him actually skydiving, which he wasn't supposed to because of insurance or shit like that. And I believe, you know, I wasn't around in 91, you know, comment below if I'm wrong about any of this, but I believe some of these shots are real, right? Like this shot right here of them like plummeting to earth. Like, I don't know how they would have fixed this in 91. I don't think the blue screen technology was that good back then. And like, they're really falling, and you see like the change of perspective as they're falling. I'm like, dude, there's no way that they didn't actually do some of these shots. But you can see here how they have them like propped up on wires or whatever, and they're both facing each other, and they're like shooting at an angle so it looks like the skies, whatever. So they definitely have some evidence that they weren't doing this for real. But then they have shots like this with Patrick Swayze's in the sky, and I'm like, dude, the way that his hair's whipping up and the way that his skin's whipping, I'm like, there's no way to fake that. And just like, it's so cool that Patrick Swayze was like, you know what, I'm gonna go really skydiving for this fucking movie. Fuck the fucking executives, fuck the insurance company, I'm gonna skydive and I'm gonna be okay, and if I'm not, we're gonna make a great movie scene out of it. You know, like, I'm like, I respect the fuck out of it. But there's definitely some parts that you're like, but because there is some real shots, it makes the fake shots look a little bit more real, but also then if you're really paying attention, you're like, oof, some of those shots of Keanu look like they're on a green screen so bad, and then some of their shots look like they're free falling from 30,000 feet, and you're like, yeah, that's just really cool either way. But, you know, it's one of those movies, man, like, it's iconic, and I absolutely love this movie so much. And then, you know, part of his crew dies, and he's got Tyler hostage, and he's just trying, Keanu's just trying to get back to his girl, and Patrick Swayze's trying to get away with the money, but also trying to get away with his crew. But just two of his crew got shot. One of them died in the jail. One of them died like on the move. One of them died on the skydiving. You're like, ooh, you're like, man. So he's got some money and he took off, but then, you know, apparently Keanu's character's been chasing him down, but this is now like a time jump, and the time jump to the end of the movie, Swayze's got darker hair, he's sitting in the rain, he's got a shorter haircut. Keanu looks even older with a little bit of scruff now, and he's like, you're coming with me, buddy, and he's like, come on, man, we're at Great Bells Beach in Australia, this is the storm, man, this is the greatest ride I'm ever gonna get, I'm not gonna swim to New Zealand, come on, let me go surf, let me go catch my wave. And of course, he goes out to catch his final wave, and it's his final wave, and Keanu's walking away like he's not coming back, and it's pouring. And this was great last night to watch. I watched this last night, and it was pouring outside when I was watching. I was like, oh, just the vibes, everything about it I love so much. I gave this movie 5 stars. It's just, you know, it might not be a 5-star movie, but it damn sure is to me. It's 5 out of 5 stars. 10 out of 10. I love this movie. I love this movie so much that I named my dog Bodhi after Patrick Swayze's character, and he's been just as crazy and just as cool as his character in this movie. So I really love it. I hope you guys love this movie too, and if you haven't seen it, I hope this video inspires you to go check it out. It's way better than the remake they made in 2015 or whenever that one came out. This one's so much better. I always wanted a Point Break 2 to come out with Patrick Swayze's character survived somehow, and he's out robbing banks with a different crew, and Keanu comes back and gets him for a Point Break 2 type of deal. But now Patrick Swayze's not alive, so you definitely can't do it now. But, you know, when he was alive, I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if they made a second one out of this somehow, and he survived that thing. But also, not everything needs a second movie. Not everything needs a remake or a revival. This movie has a great beginning, middle, end, and it ends, and that can be it, you know? It can just be by itself, its own thing, cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, let it be its own thing, let it die. But comment below, what are your favorite Patrick Swayze movies? What are your favorite Keanu Reeves movies? I would love to know those recommendations down in the comment section below, or you can send them to me on my other social medias. Link in the description to all my other social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Big Cam, 2Gs in the Big. You can pretty much find me anywhere. Look for my face, look for the Marvel t-shirts, look for some Legos. More Lego content coming for the people that want Lego stuff. Those videos do well, so I'm trying. I'm going to keep building for you guys, so I got some more coming your way. Stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.